Hey everyone, before getting started with the Baldur's Gate photo mode review, I just want to say, I know it's been a little bit since I've uploaded anything. Things have been super busy. Been working on a little project for a game. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say yet, but it rhymes with Nort Fight. Anyway, I'm really excited to share what I've been doing with that. I also just want to say, lately I've been getting kind of in a certain mood looking at things on the internet. I just feel like there's so much fakeness between video titles that are baiting people into thinking there's some kind of controversy, even just things like fake movie trailers that I see everywhere. I just feel like with AI, things just feel so inauthentic. And anyway, I just wanted to take this second to say this channel, what I do here, I don't use it to write, I don't use it to edit, I don't use it to generate any content like that. And I know in a world where it's increasingly becoming hard to find people who, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but who are real creators and who are just doing things and not trying to trick you or manipulate. This channel will always be that, and everything I do here will always be that. So anyway, thanks to everyone who has subscribed over the past few years. It really means a lot to me. And anyway, let's get into Baldur's Gate 3 and its pretty incredible photo mode. So overall, this is an absolutely amazing addition to Baldur's Gate. This game is so big, it's so beloved, it's just worth capturing. There's actually like a lot of options in this photo mode, and I won't dive into every single one of them, but hopefully what I touch on here, what you see in the video, and what you experiment with yourself gives you a good idea of it. I will say I'm really glad I had some old save files because there were a few locations that I specifically wanted to pop out and try photo mode in. This first one here that I'm showing was really a location that made me go like, why does this game not have a photo mode? I just thought it was gorgeous. I was so frustrated. So I'm glad I had an old save and I can bump back in here. The range is pretty nice, but I'm honestly not sure why the camera range isn't just unlimited, because in the game you can actually move the camera basically anywhere to sort of tell your character, hey, walk here. So I don't know why the photo mode wasn't like that. I mean, everything is paused anyway, so I don't know why we couldn't just go anywhere. But again, it's pretty good and it's serviceable enough. Next up, depth of field is really good in this game. You can get some extremely tight focus, some really sharp. I mean, you can get down to the piece of armor that you want to focus onto. It's really nice. There's also an option which has character focus, which basically you get to select what character and the camera will prioritize focusing them and not everything else. Super helpful if you're just trying to quickly, get a shot of a specific party member. But the most important thing, which a lot of games seem to miss, is that it accounts for foreground depth as well. Obviously, if depth of field is working correctly, you'll get a close-up subject in focus while the background is blurred. That's kind of the depth of field we all expect from photo modes, but I love to see a truly accurate depth implementation like this. So you'll have the foreground blurring out while background objects can be in focus. That's awesome. There's lots of random options to fine tune how you want the shot to look. So there's stuff like show weapon, helmet, cape, instrument. I love stuff like that allows players to really get in the nitty gritty of how they want their shot to look. Also, there's like this XYZ axis where you can move the character slightly in any of those directions. You can even bring them up in the sky like they're floating. This is something Deathloop had as well that I loved. Super appreciate stuff like that. There's also a little setting called store camera position. This is kind of interesting, although it only stores the literal position and none of the settings. I personally think this would be a bit more useful if it reverted back to prior settings, but it's still a nice little feature to have if you're experimenting and want to jump back where you were. All of the settings in the photo mode that pertain to characters themselves are really quite beyond my expectations. There's simple stuff like hiding enemies, NPCs, and party, which we've seen in other photo modes, but they went like really hard on the facial expressions and poses. Not only are there a bevy of options here, but within many of these poses are animations that you can move frame by frame to get even more pose options. It's honestly one of the most, if not the most, comprehensive pose selection I've seen in a photo mode. And you gotta love the option to turn head to camera. Man, that never is not creepy. Of course, is it a photo mode if you don't have some cursed frames, if you feel like just ruining a good image? And stickers. While I would personally never use stickers, I gotta give them credit for adding a boatload of them. So if you are one of the people who likes playing with these, you're probably eating good with this. Also, I have to admit, I do adore this Karlach Emoji sticker. I feel like I'm gonna need Apple to add this to their emoji suite because I just love it. Lastly, I'll end on a little montage of my in-game armor. For being a game that has the camera pulled back most of the time, it really is amazing how much fine detail there is. And god dang am I obsessed with this armor, I gotta be real. You give me a green cape and a hint of wood and leather and I'm instantly sold. That's my armor for the game. Anyway, I hope someday I can manage to replay this game to fully experience the photo mode. Until then, see y'all next time.